Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it, it's real. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it, it's real. Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like you, like me. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it, it's real. Yeah. Drop your 3 cents. Drop your 3 cents. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it, it's real. Drop your 3 cents. Drop your 3 cents. Say what you want, say what you feel. Ain't nobody really gon' keep it, it's real.
Yo, what's good? Welcome. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
Man, I'm all right, man. How about you? It's been an interesting week.
Ain't it all 2024? Just interesting.
Hey, man, real quick, did you get something today or yesterday?
Nah, man. Tomorrow.
Oh, wow. They funked it up. So, yeah.
Yeah, they be hating. They didn't want me to be great. You know what I'm saying?
I guess next week, then.
At least that's what they say on the thing. It'll be here tomorrow, supposedly.
Okay. I'm going to have to check that out. What's good with y'all? We are back. Welcome to Drop Your 3 Cent. I'm your boy, Third Degree. We got Quez in the house.
Yes, sir. We back in the building, man. We had an amazing conversation last week. We back one more time. Let's get to it.
Project Slim, I see you. What's up, Chi-Town? Man.
What's up, Chi-Town? $1 bill. Then get them country boys nothing. That's it.
Nothing. Man, last week was a really interesting one. We had a topic that was on fire. It was on fire, yo. So I want to shout out to the YouTube people. You know what I'm saying? They came out in full force. Quez has some he has some fans, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want no fans. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no fans at all. You know what I mean?
Melvin
has supporters, but I don't want no fans. You know what I'm saying?
Quez Rack with their rebel flag and the black Klansman flags in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Kendrick messed up fans for everybody. Don't nobody.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
I got supporters. Let's go with that. You know,
I feel you on that one, man. So for those who are just watching, if you're on Facebook, make sure you hit the like and the share button. Make sure you're sharing this with your timeline so it's going out to the feed. If you're on YouTube, welcome. We thank you. We thank you again for all your support. I mean, the numbers were off the roof, from our live, and then from the clip that I put up, the numbers were great. So I want to shout out to the YouTube folks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit the like button, that share button. Most importantly, hit that notify. So when we come on, you get that bell. Melvin, are you sitting somewhere straight, man?
No. Boy, I always on the move. Melvin mode.
We about to look tacky and ghetto as hell.
Always in Melvin mode. You know what I'm saying? Come on up here, man. What you got going on in your life?
Hold on, man.
Look.
I don't even want, after last week, I'm trying to tell you, the world is watching. The world is watching, man. I'll put you on, man, but we can't have this.
What up?
What's up, man?
What's going on, my brother?
Just driving the long drive to Marietta.
Oh, that ain't that bad. No, what about
Marietta,
that?
Georgia. The United States side. So yeah. But yeah, so man, it was an interesting week. Melvin, you have some people commenting. there was a lot of people agreeing with Quez. For a quick little recap, we talked about Kamala Harris. Is she really black? And we have people spewing all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And man, YouTube was on fire. So again, I want to thank you to the supporters on YouTube. Thank you to the ones on Facebook. So, Quez, you already know. Let's go ahead and let's just get into a little bit of ratchetness for the folks.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
It's your boy Third Degree, and I'm back with more ratchet news.
Well, kicking off ratchet news, and before we get into some of the ratchetness that happened this week, we got to celebrate the fact that August 5th was the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl. That was the day that, we said we had enough. For me, it was the day that, we came together as separate fingers to formulate a fist to strike a mighty blow, in the face of racism and bigotry, and arrogance and privilege, So it was a day that, none of us will forget. I mean, it was just a classic day. And, I'm glad that, we celebrated a year. And I mean, you gotta love us as a people with the art and the creative pictures, and we getting it. But so let's go ahead and get to some ratchetness though. Kalani's baby daddy seeks full custody over sex cult concerns. I hate that we gotta use the term baby daddy, baby mama, you know what I mean? But it's just, this is how they report news when it comes to us. But I hope for all people involved in this, that this is not true. And especially if there's kids involved. So it's always a sad, scary thing when there's kids involved. But moving on. Well, Supreme Court rejects request to delay Trump's hush money sentencing until after the presidential election. I guess privilege is not going to serve him in this case, especially the Supreme Court, which I was shocked, especially with Uncle Tom Clarence Thomas. But sentencing to begin on September 18th, which is actually 8 days after the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Apparently, I guess they both agreed to September 10th, and they're going to debate on ABC, which, he pretty much dissed them. But it's going to be interesting. It's a prosecutor versus convict. And then on top of that, 8 days later, the convict gets sentenced. But I think they're going to give him a slap on the wrist. I mean, because he does have the complexion for the protection. But speaking of Trump and his dumbness, we ain't going to spend too much time on him.
Crowds. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people, if not, we had more. And they said he had 1 million people, but I had 25,000.
Can nigga please? And on top of that, Martin Luther King's daughter responded by doing this. She tweeted, "Absolutely not true. I wish that people would stop using my father to support falsity." I agree. So moving on. Former Black Panther Party chairwoman Elaine Brown raises $80 million to open up affordable housing in Oakland. Salute to her. Moving on. The Tate brothers, LaRon Tate, and Lamar Tate, plan on trying to make Chicago the next entertainment capital, or especially when it comes to film. So shout out to them for trying to do something positive and trying to uplift the negativity that surfaces around Chicago. So, moving on. Backtracking a little bit to white folks being locked up. 3 people arrested following viral video of a racist encounter in Virginia City, Nevada. I mean, it's Virginia City, Nevada. I didn't even know they had a Virginia City, Nevada. But anyway, a family had made racist remarks to a reporter saying that they had a hanging tree in his backyard and all types of stuff. So I'm glad to see some type of justice. Let's hopefully the complexion for protection that's protecting them, Moving on. Apparently, there might be a Different World sequel series in development at Netflix, and I'm here for that, especially after they tried to do the Good Times reboot. Let's hope that it's something positive, But that Good Times cartoon was complete trash and reinforced negative stereotypes amongst black folks. And Different World has always reinforced positive stereotypes. So let's hope that they continue in the same vein. Moving on. Team USA advances to Paris Olympics basketball finals after defeating Team Serbia. And for a minute, it was looking like Team USA was about to go down, but, Chef Curry with the comeback, So salute to them. I think they're going to do some big things in facing France. Moving on. Singer Maya has revealed that she's been celibate for 7 years. I don't think she's going to have a problem if she keeps dressing and looking like that. Somebody gonna come around later and knock the cobwebs off of that, She's looking good. Shout out to Maya. Do your thing. No, man, looks like the end of an era has come. Young Miami confirms that she and JT are no longer in the group and explains why they decided to go their separate ways. Quote, the group ain't making no money. We not working. I was just like, I gotta figure something out, end quote. For me, before relationships, whatever, saying like I'm not a huge fan of city girls, but for the most part, they look and sound good. I'm attracted to accents, and I like how they talk. I just don't like what they talk about, and they look good. It's sad to see. Hopefully they can work something out, come back together, because when JT was down, Young Miami was holding her down, while she was in jail. So it's just sad. But speaking of Young Miami, which aka Carisha.
How are you? I ain't bringing this far to go backwards. And when all of these allegations and lawsuits came apart, why didn't you speak?
All that came from an interview that Young Miami did with Saucy, Flimsy, Extra Sugar in the Tank, Santana. Talking about her relationship with Diddy, and especially with the allegations and everything surrounding him. So, when you guys get a chance, go check her out, go hear what she has to say. Sad to say, beautiful young lady. I hope she bounces back from this. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. Rapper T.I. was arrested in a mistaken identity case at the airport, which is sad. Like, how you going to arrest Tip? You know what I'm saying? But I guess it was another Clifford Harris they're looking for, which is crazy. But speaking of arrest, Krishan Rock, which is the mother of Blueface's, rapper Blueface's son, is facing 8 years in prison after arrest in Los Angeles. I guess she went to the courthouse to go visit or sit in on one of his hearings or trials, and she wound up getting arrested and is facing 8 years. You know what I'm saying? And which is sad because he's already in jail. So this is the mugshot that's been just crazy. I'm praying for everybody in the situation, but I have to say it like this: did we not see this coming? I mean, Blueface and Krishan Rock are just the perfect example and the epitome of toxicity, and I think it was coming. You know what I mean? So it's sad to say, but moving on. Speaking of arrests, which is sad, Nelly arrested in St. Louis for possession of ecstasy and outstanding traffic summons, allegedly. You know what I mean? The man just got married to a woman that he had to track down and get back with Ashanti. She's pregnant with his baby. Let that man be great. Let him be great. But then Nelly's attorney challenges police and denies arrest for drug possession. So as the story develops, we'll keep you posted. Moving on. Kanye West, a.k.a. Ye, his ex-chief of staff claims celebrity dentist got rapper hooked on nitrous oxide, and dentist responds. That's crazy if that's very, very true. But sad thing is, man, I think the dentist's name is Thomas Kennelly, which, by all means, I think maybe a distant relative of mine. We're moving on. Last but not least, Drake shares 3 new songs and 800 gigabytes of unreleased content. I don't know what for. I'm gonna be honest with you. It seems like ever since Kendrick came out with that song, and Drake's been taking L's all summer long. So it's just, he's been moving kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see him release a hit and, just come back out doing your thing, but he hasn't been able to really bounce back. But that's all I got for y'all. So enjoy the show.
Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News.
All right, y'all. Hey, so for the people that are getting ready to come on, Adoration, I see you. Melvin, I see you. For the people that are going to come on Facebook, I have the link in the comment section, so just hit the link. If you're coming on, just know that if you're using your phone, it's going to work as a microphone. You have to use your headphones. We're able to hear you. We're able to kind of reduce the noise in the background. Also, make sure you're in a nice, quiet spot where you have good Wi-Fi. You don't have a lot of noises in the background, because as Quez likes to say, this is a production. So, we will clip you up, and there are going to be times when we clip up, and we don't want you out on the world looking goofy, looking silly, or making us look, ratchet and dirty, whatever like that. So make sure that you know that you're going to be on camera, you're going to clip up, no eating, no using the restroom, no beating up people, no none of that other stuff. Just kind of just keep yourself centered and focused here.
Absolutely, man. Beautiful thing. What's going on, Melvin? With the voter die. We got Adoration. What's up? You ain't in a coffee house in the hills of Trinidad and Tobago, or wherever the hell you be at.
No, because on the weekends now I travel to another city every weekend. So, but my brother's out of town, so I didn't travel anywhere.
Oh, okay. Good stuff, man. What you been traveling and doing? You know what I'm saying? You got a travel twerkathon. What you got going on?
We're traveling to the big city. We're in Taiwan.
I'm just messing with you. You know what I'm saying? And let me just say this, I know Maya's been celibate. I got a deposit, you know what I'm saying, to buy a little bit. You know what I mean? And if that's what we do it. You know what I mean? Because hey, she's out there looking like Mystique in that outfit. Boy, what was going on with that? You know what I mean? Trying to be next.
My thing is like with that, man, it's like, for the one I'm celibate, I don't even get, but then you wear something like that, like a skin tight thing, what the dude's gonna be, they're gonna be jocking, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be thirsty jocking, dogs, like, they ain't eat, like Mama like say, ain't been eating in a week or so. On her heels, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think that they won't? You know what I'm saying?
Who
Like,
cares though?
Hey, but she's in full
Who
control of
cares?
that situation. She ain't got to
Who
give up
cares?
nothing. If she made it 7 years, it ain't like she just got that
that's a
shape
long ass
yesterday.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
Maya been bad since we've been in high school, bro. Don't do that. You know what I mean?
I'm saying 7 years. 7 years. 7 years.
She's been fighting
That's a
the
long
dog
ass
for
time.
7 years. You know what I'm saying? And she's raw vegan. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all vegans be over here overweight. You know what I mean? Sneaking Taco Bell in the car when nobody see you. You know what I mean? Some of y'all vegans ain't vegan. You know
So,
what I mean?
just that she can still just keep be celibate, and you're missing the point.
Absolutely.
You don't want to attract the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Who
You know what I'm
cares?
saying? What did you say? Taiwan?
If you have your own morals under control, it don't matter what everybody around.
No, I know, but see, it's not so much about you. Not so much about you. It's about them dudes. They're gonna be coming over. They're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want the attention, they're gonna be on your heels.
I think she wants the attention. She just doesn't want the action. That's it. She
And
wants
there's
attention.
absolutely,
World cares.
And that's okay. That's okay.
you gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Just don't cry if somebody grab your X-Men costume.
I mean, they can go to jail. No,
that's all I'm saying.
Ain't nobody
willing to take. Just where
you
you at?
You said what?
I said, just where you at? She heavy in the comments. You know what I'm saying? What you got?
No matter how you dress, they'll still not get heels. What's up, Cheryl? How you doing? We hear you, girl. We hear you.
Do right, Bell. What's going on, my brother?
He said on the couch. You know.
That's so cute.
All right, anything else? What's up? We got some folks in here. Make sure you guys, thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you guys hit the like and the share button on Facebook. Please share, please share. If you're coming on, you're watching on Facebook, make sure you're hitting the little like button, the thumbs up. You're hitting the love button. You're laughing, whatever. Just participate, but make sure you share it out to your feed. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button and you're sharing it, and just contribute. Just comment.
Subscribe. We got some great stuff coming up for y'all, man.
Great topics today.
Hey, subscribe, man. Y'all gonna miss out on some amazing content. We got.
What's up, Vince and C? So the topics that we got for tonight, you know what I'm saying? Like it was inspired from last week. Kamala Harris, we're gonna pick apart some of the facts and the misinformation that's been going on here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about, one of the things as far as us, even as a people, we have to take a hard look. Are some black people prejudiced against mixed people or against people who are mixed race or biracial? Is there a prejudice there? Another thing we're going to talk about too is the Sonya Massey killing, the cop. He came out and essentially said that he feared for his life. And we're going to watch that video again. We're going to see if there's any type of fear. I'm not going to show the actual shooting, but we're going to show the events that lead up to the shooting. And we're going to see who is actually scared of who. You know what I'm saying? So, Cheryl, anybody who has anything to say, especially in regards to Kamala, we're going to talk about it. But, the thing that I'm disappointed in, and it seemed like, and Jess brought up a good point. We've talked about Trump on this very platform a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And the one time we talk about Kamala and is she really black, it seems like that's when the droves came out and a lot of disrespect and a lot of things were being said about a woman, especially a woman of color. And it came from not just, the outside, it came from us. So, you know what I'm saying? And some of you guys have forced me to actually go do some research because some of y'all were actually talking some big shit and actually making it seem as if they were facts. So that forced me to go actually dig and research. And I have to say, some of y'all was just regurgitating some right-wing bullshit. So, Quez, I need you to do me a favor. You know, we're going to get this show started. You already know what we do.
Hey, how you lean into some of y'all was talking right wing bullshit and Quez? I need you to do me a favor. Hey, them don't go together. You know what I'm saying?
No, I did not say you guilty. I did not say you guilty conscience.
Those statements came together. You know what I'm saying?
I was not speaking about you, guilty conscience. I'm speaking about the people who are coming at us from YouTube. I'm speaking to some of your fans, the freaky ass niggas on there. I'm speaking to the folks, you know. I wasn't talking about you specifically, you know.
No, I'm just saying when they came together. I don't know. You probably thought about that all day. I didn't like that.
Not you. Not like you say you didn't.
No, go ahead. What? Hey, third for real though. What's your word for today, man?
All right, your third word for today is misinformation. You niggas, some of you niggas out there are regurgitating and spewing misinformation and presenting it as factual, and it's just essentially either your opinion or you're going off what you hear somebody else say, and you're believing it to be true without actually researching. You're proving a lot of these right-wing liberals right by saying, hey, black people don't sit up there and read. They just get what they told. And some of you guys are falling right into that plan. But the definition of misinformation is false, inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. The example, nuclear matters are often entangled in a web of secrecy and misinformation. And that's what a lot of y'all were doing out there today. So thanks to you guys, we're going to run it back. We're going to talk about Kamala. So, you know, especially for those within our community, we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's been spewed. And then because of that, we're going to talk about, is there prejudice amongst biracial people? Because that was been spewed. And we're just going to just break it down. And if you have anything to say, mind you, we can agree to disagree peacefully. So if you're in Facebook, hit the link. You know, like I said, make sure you got good Wi-Fi. Make sure you ain't doing no other shit in the background. But make sure you come on through. And if you're on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, drop your 3 cents at gmail.com with the number 3. And I'll send you the link. And we can come on, we can talk about it. Yeah?
Let's get it.
Let's freaking go. So
you ready today? Look, I like well-educated third. You know
yes.
If I didn't do nothing else but inspire you to research, man, I did my goddamn job.
That was not. I'm not talking about you.
I know you're not talking about me. I'm saying in general. I wasn't talking about you. I'm just
okay. I'm about to say because the thing is, you're not one of those types. You're not one of those types. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually going to research and you essentially say you only care about the policies. But so people's president on here, ex-president Donald J. Trump, which again, some of you niggas, I did some research and I don't know why some of you niggas is really going for him. I really don't. But Donald J. Trump was on a national black something for journalists, whatever, and he made this comment right here. We're just going to just run it back.
On the ticket because she is a black woman.
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a
man, Quez ran. He ran already. God damn. That boy quick.
Trump is evil. He loves misinformation.
Yes.
Misinformation, and he loves divisiveness.
Again. Black
hey,
is
that
not
boy,
a
man.
country. It is not a country. Like, why are we saying you're Indian heritage?
Shit.
You're not black. Black is not
Hey,
a
this
country.
the one.
Like, it's
Sorry,
just...
go ahead, Adoration.
Oh, thank you. Take it. I'll take it. No, black
All
is
right,
not
continue.
Black is not a country. It's so annoying. It's not a country. Okay. just continue on because I can't.
Thomas Davis. So what does he write about? Because again, I don't know. I don't know that to be true at all.
Not at all.
That's just more misinformation.
All right. So thanks to Charlemagne the God.
Oh man, come on now.
You think things you could need to know?
Source. Let me say this before you start, because sources matter, sir. I'm not saying that.
Apparently not.
Apparently not, Quez.
No. I'm listen.
Last week.
Listen, I'm
saying all fake and false.
Listen, when you are combating a machine, your sources matter, right? It's so easy. And I'm not talking for me. I'm just because I be on the grassroots level. Charlemagne the God is not a reliable source that people in the grassroots are going to listen to because he's too wishy-washy. I'm just saying. So when you bring up it, instead of the information being accurate and focusing on the information that's there, so that may be the truth, people are going to start to attack and say, ain't nobody listening to Charlemagne the God.
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
This is something that he reposted. All right. So things that you niggas need to know if we're going to vote. Number one, Trump did not give you $1,200. The stimulus checks distributed in the United States during COVID-19 pandemic were authorized by legislation passed by Congress and signed into law by then President Donald Trump. While President Trump signed the legislation into law, it was Congress that drafted, debated, and passed these bills, making the checks a result of legislative action and executive approval rather than unliterated action by the president.
Unilateral, sir. Unilateral action by the president, and that's usually how this works.
Oh, Quez.
I'm just saying.
Let's go.
I agree with this point though, because there's a lot of niggas saying we want Trump because he gave us check. I didn't get no check, so it didn't matter to me.
I wonder why you didn't get one.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because I was on child support, sir.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so number two, Kamala Harris is in fact black. Honestly, I'm not even sure why this matters to so many of you. Kamala Harris identifies as black. She is of mixed heritage with a mother from India and a father from Jamaica. Her father, Donald Harris, is of Afro-Jamaican descent, which contributes to her black identity. Additionally, she has often spoken about her pride in her diverse heritage and how often it shaped her identity and perspectives. So, for those, look, this is literally her father, saying, because of you guys, you niggas, I've actually seen pictures of her family in Jamaica, because I've heard some of you niggas actually spewing out saying that, no, her father's Hindu, he's Indian, he's Caucasian. Well, I think his father
got the same forehead. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know what I'm saying? So I see her family in Jamaica. So I don't know what some of y'all are talking about. And again, it's just misinformation. But to the next point, number three, does your vote matter? Yes, your vote does matter. The popular vote influences the U.S. Electoral College by determining the winner in each state. Most states use a winner-take-all system where the candidate with the most votes gets all the state's electoral votes. This makes the overall popular vote important, but not divisive, as the Electoral College decides presidency. Candidates focus on swing states to secure the necessary 270 electoral votes to win.
Candidates focus on swing states. So if you don't live in a swing state, if you live in a state like California, New York, your vote is irrelevant because y'all going blue regardless.
Not true. Not true.
Really
You gotta
true.
vote. You gotta vote for your local congressman. You gotta vote for the Senate. You gotta vote for president's not the only one on the ticket.
Which y'all don't do. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole point.
That's the problem. You gotta vote.
Y'all don't do none of that. So you going blue regardless in states that are not swing states.
And Georgia was red for a while, but now it's changing. It's a toss-up state. So
yeah, because I'm out here.
Nah, because a lot of people are going out and voting. And Stacey Abrams.
Because I'm out here. I know.
It's not
boots on the ground.
So it's not just don't vote. It's get out and vote.
Right. All right. So next slide. Number 4. Kamala Harris did not lock up thousands of black men. During Harris's tenure as California's Attorney General from 2011 to 2017, over 1,900 people were admitted to state prisons for marijuana or hashish. Is I saying that right? Hashish related charges?
I don't know. I don't smoke. I don't know what they call it.
Many cases in California are prosecuted by district attorneys in individual counties, not attorney generals. Kamala Harris was the district attorney for San Francisco from 2004 to 2011. And during her tenure, she only sentenced 45 people total, not just black people, to state prison for marijuana-related, it has it right all in my way. I cannot see. Non-related, what does it say, Quez?
Marijuana-related charges, according to Mercury News.
Okay, yeah, because the slide thing is all up in the way. I can't see the rest.
No, I got you.
All right. Number 5, Agenda 47 is not for your black ass. Trump's Agenda 47 poses serious risks to black and minority communities. It plans to cut funding for schools teaching critical race theory, which, again, this is really essential when you talk about critical race theory.
Wow.
And eliminate diversity programs, reducing support for students of color. The agenda aims to implement more aggressive policy measures, including the reintroduction of stop and frisk practices, which disappropriately target black and minority individuals. It also proposes the death penalty for drug dealers and grants immunity to police officers, potentially increasing racial injustice and police violence, which, again, we're going to talk about the Sonya Massey thing. Additionally, it seeks to shut down the Department of Education, further undermining educational equity. These measures will reinforce systematic racism, exacerbate
disparities,
and hinder progress.
This will exacerbate disparities and hinder progress towards justice and equity in these communities.
Sorry, I'm not literate, y'all.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got you, brother. This ain't that. What else we got?
Also, the job of the vice president. The vice president is expected to participate when there is a tie vote, cannot be from the same state as the president, traditionally chosen by presidential nominees to balance the ticket both by location and politically ideology. 8 vice presidents have become president because of the death of a president.
Why is that important?
Because people, again, some of you niggas will say, "Oh, she didn't do anything as the vice president. Exactly. She didn't do this and she didn't do this." So it's just one of those things. You know what I'm saying? So again,
the vice president's a placeholder. It's not necessarily a office of that you're going to do a lot of things other than what the president wants you to do and push out their agenda.
But listen, we can't scapegoat. Because listen, Mike Pence was up there getting drugged. You know what I'm saying? When he was running under Trump as vice president. Because Trump is evil. Mike Pence was not evil. Mike Pence didn't do a goddamn thing but be Trump weird. But evil. I'm just saying, as vice president, y'all ran that man through the mud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ran him through the mud. And then when it came to this presidency, we didn't see Kamala at all, ever.
Well, Trump tried to hang him.
And the one tie-breaking vote she decided on raised inflation on individuals like you and me. That's what she voted for. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm not here to argue about who's right or who's wrong. I'm just stating the facts.
We got what was the tie-breaking vote that she did that raised inflation?
She didn't decide to raise inflation when she voted when Congress was tied in a unilateral decision. That was the only vote she made.
No, she made several votes that were tied.
No, not tie-breaking votes. No, she didn't.
Yes,
she made
several tie-breaking votes.
Very important. The rest of them didn't matter because none of us knew about them and didn't concern us.
Anytime the vice president proceeds over the Senate to break the tie, it's always on C-SPAN. So if you want and you're politically engaged and you want to follow and watch it, you can. But
I know that. I'm talking about for the masses, Melvin.
I know.
Two unique
I'm letting
individuals,
people.
sir.
I'm not talking directly to you.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
letting
know,
people
but I'm
know
just saying.
as well. Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about. I know you know what you're talking about, but I'm saying for the policies that increased inflation, most of inflation is just corporate greed. It's there.
Mhm.
You can't have record profits without, and then raise prices, and then have buy back shares without saying, and then blame it on inflation. That's no. It's corporate greed. It's Lockheed greed. It's Walmart not paying enough people. It's McDonald's especially. So it has nothing to do with the presidency or the vice presidency. That's capitalism altogether.
Word.
I always agree
Hey,
because
Quez.
I always say capitalism and democracy can't live in the same house. That's what I always say.
Where you holding up? We can't see you, Adoration.
Vice President Kamala Harris has cast 33 tie-breaking votes in the Senate. I'm just saying, and I said this earlier.
What are they? Adoration. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta let her speak first.
The point of the matter that I'm making, Quiz, is you gotta stop just saying stuff. I said that about you last week. You just
you said it about me last week because you like black girl pride, but you don't know what Kamala's policies are.
That's another thing.
I know what I listen.
Hold on, we gotta let each other finish.
Just because you don't like black girl pride doesn't mean you have to just lie out of the skin
Whoa.
all the time.
Whoa.
Get a phone and look it up at least.
All right, Adoration, let him rebut.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, finish your statement. Cause we finna get to the nitty-gritty on this today.
I was glad to hear a third word today because I literally said that before the podcast. I'm like, what are we doing? It's just like
what are we doing, Adoration?
Hold on, I got one more slide.
Listen, simple question. What is Kamala's top priority policy? Please give me one.
Okay.
Because I seen a whole bunch of black girl pride get excited. Listen, I let you get it out. I seen a whole bunch of black girl pride get excited about Megan Thee Stallion, and I love Megan Thee Stallion. Come on, a presidential, you know what I'm saying, address to the nation, twerking with mini skirts and halter tops, shaking ass, and then you got Quavo up here in a sequin shirt with his nipples out, and we're talking about what black girl magic is, and that's how she feels about y'all. She thought it was more important to have a fucking concert than to address y'all with real policies to address Donald Trump. That's my argument with her.
Okay.
My argument is, ma'am, if you feel like Donald Trump is a threat to the nation, we shouldn't be having fucking concerts. We should be talking about policies that are going to address the American people that are really important. I can watch Megan Thee Stallion on YouTube all day twerk. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I fucking want to. I don't want to see that at a presidential, vice presidential, or any type of political rally. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry if I feel that way.
Before you guys start, before you guys,
crazy.
Generation and Melvin, before you guys start, I have one more slide. I was real proud because I did this shit today, you know? Like, so Donald Trump says criminal for Kamala. So I guess essentially Donald Trump is endorsing Kamala Harris because that nigga is a criminal.
Right. Like, what's that?
Yeah, she's trying to make it so you can vote, Donald.
Oh shit!
You and your people, you and your January 6 people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, Adoration. Like we get emotional as black people when it comes to voting, and the whole entire time, even when I spoke last week, I've been policy based. I don't know what policy she has for my community. It doesn't have anything to do with. I love black women. My mama black. My daughters is black. My wife is black. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about none of that when it comes to my people suffering in the streets. But I'm not going to vote for Kamala because she's black and she's just been vice president for 3.5 years and didn't do shit for me. And then she's been in Senate for another 10 years, didn't do shit for me. I need to know exactly what you're going to do to help the situation that me and my family are living in, because we don't live at the White House. We live in America. where inflation is running rampant, is $6-7 for a carton of eggs, gas is sky high. I need to know what you're going to do to fix these issues. I don't care about you being black. I don't care if you cook tandoori chicken. I don't give a shit if you cook collard greens in the bathtub. I need to know what policies you're going to bring to the table that are going to affect the community realistically, because I see thousands of immigrants flooding cities like New York, California, and other cities, and they're getting instant benefits. Meanwhile, I got to struggle to pay my light bill and pay my rent, and y'all say y'all don't got shit for me. But as soon as these people got over here, they get all the help they need.
But that is not that's not
Real
the
quick,
that's
can I
not
say
the
something?
problem. Oh, go
Why
ahead.
not say adoration?
Go
I
ahead,
just want
adoration. Go
to
ahead.
say, it's me
Why
short.
not
I'm not going to take 2
adoration?
minutes. I'm not going to take 2 minutes. Listen, the point that I made today, and this is the thing, I'm not talking about going on a tangent about what you think. All right, we understand that you have this point of view. I got that point of view, and I understand that. I agree. What I'm saying to you is that while you don't care about black women shaking this, that, and this, what I'm saying to you, I'm not addressing that stuff. I'm saying to you, listen, you don't have to sit on the podcast and make false statements just to make your point sound better. You just said she made one thing. Wait, Melvin was clear. He was like, no, she made a lot more. And you were like, no, she didn't. She only made one. So I looked it up. And what I'm saying is, just because that's your point of view, it doesn't mean you have to make false accusations and false facts. You want to know her policies, right? So you can look up her policies. But you don't have to say she only made one tie vote. You don't have to say that, because that's a lie. And you did that a lot last week. And I didn't say. As you were saying it, I was looking it up, and it was false. False.
What was I saying that was false, adoration?
You can go back to the thing and you can look at the thing.
No, you can tell me, because you're calling me a liar, and I'm trying to take that personal without getting emotional. But today, me and Melvin agreed. I said she made one deciding vote that was important. I didn't say she didn't make the other 30 plus. Me and Melvin have an understanding, because we're talking from a place that we have.
We're talking on public platforms.
I understand, but I have to speak for the people who don't have a voice up here. You guys are pretty much in alignment, right? You, Melvin, and Third are pretty much in alignment. So I have to be the voice of the people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in terms of your theology about this situation.
That's
you guys pretty much guys' talking points. Listen, from you guys' talking points, you guys pretty much align, right? And I'm cool with that. I'm not saying that you guys are wrong. I'm indifferent to each point of view, right? Because I'm always here for the truth. But my job in this environment is to create a talking platform for the people who are not on this stage, right? And I listen. I'm listening to people who are not on this stage. There's not a lot of us. It's really just me.
I think what is getting missed is I agree with, I get both of your guys' perspectives. Adoration is saying, Quiz, if you're gonna say something, you gotta be accurate. Although you're saying things and it's like not, it's hyperbole, you're just saying it to say it, and you're not wrong in saying it. But she's saying, if you're gonna say it, if you're gonna say, oh, it was only 2, but it was 15, then you have to acknowledge the other one. And what Quez is saying, what really mattered to him was 1 vote. Everything else didn't matter, because that wasn't pertaining to him and his family situation. So none of that other shit mattered. It was solely about what was pertaining to him and what his beliefs and what supports his family and people like him. And so that you guys are both saying different things, and it's not that Quez is lying, and it's not that adoration is wrong.
You're right on the same path.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. And when you guys address me with the stats, I always agree with you. Do I not?
Yes.
When somebody says, well, it was actually this, and I say, yes, you're correct. You know what I'm saying? I never debate y'all on factual information. I just, once again, like Melvin says, I give you the hyperbole to think about people that are in a community that I've experienced and came from, and what they're talking about.
No doubt. I
have
hear you.
to do that.
So Quez, I got to interject, because I hear you. And again, you kind of misrepresented me a little bit right now. Yes, am I going to vote for Kamala? For sure. Do I agree with everything that she's saying or whatever? No. Do you have some points? Yes, because again, I need to see some policies. There's some things about her that I definitely question. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing I didn't like that she actually said was that when it came to reparations, she said, no, I'm not just going to just give things for black people. I didn't like that. I also need to hear what she has to say about qualified immunity. Like right now, those are my key issues. And I think individually, as far as when you're going out to vote or where you're looking for a candidate, whether it's the presidential, whether it's your local, whatever, you got to look for someone who's going to align with more so your thoughts. And I need her to be more specific and more precise on what she stands on. And again, like she said some stuff, you know, this is cool, you know what I'm saying? But I need to hear the non-political Kamala. I need to hear where you actually, how you feel, so I can relate to you. Because right now, what you're doing is I can't really necessarily relate because you're coming from a political standpoint. You're out there kissing babies and out there, you know, with the gay, the LGBTQs, and hey, pride. Then you're gonna come over here next week, be with the black folks. Yeah, righteous folks, righteous brother. Then you're gonna come over here, be with the South Asian folks. Yeah. I mean, it's just a political thing. I need to see where you stand on some of these policies.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that take at all.
Well, thank you too.
Damn.
Not in the least. Not even in the least about Kamala
Why
Harris
not?
has been the
No,
most. She's been the most consistent on what she stood for: Affordable Care Act, how she feels for women's rights and reproductive freedoms, how she feels for policing in the community.
No, I hear you. So Melvin, hold up real quick. I have to interject a little bit.
But you're not going to get to know the candidate unless you have town halls. And as vice president, you're not the main character. You're not going to have a town hall. The town halls are only for the president. Now she's going to have her own debate. She might have possibly 2 debates. Now she's going out there.
I can't wait.
And you're getting, and you get to, like she continuously said, wait till there's a split screen and you hear my policies and Donald Trump. She said, don't necessarily vote for me right now. Wait till you hear my policies and Donald Trump's, period.
Melvin,
And she's
can I ask you a
Go
question?
ahead. Go ahead.
If you were in the same position, right? Let's say you were vice president for the past 3.5 years. Nobody really knows what you're capable of doing, because I'm gonna put it in that perspective, right? Nobody knows what you're capable of doing because you're not the president, right? You may have been behind the scenes looking at Joe Biden. There's somebody back there running that show. You know what I'm saying? Because bro was lost. But anyway, you know what I mean? If you had 90 days before an election, we're talking literally 3 months, what would be the first thing you did as vice president, the current sitting vice president, to galvanize people to vote for you compared to the incumbent who's coming from the Republican Party? What would you do in that predicament with 90 days to go? I
would go do tons of campaigning across the nation, which she's doing. I would be talking, and it's a delicate situation because we have a president, and she can't overstep on his current policies because he's still the president to January. So she can't be like, fuck Joe Biden and everything he stands for.
Bullshit. That's what I would have said day one. Fuck that
but
nigga.
she can't, because he's still the commander. He's still the commander.
He ain't gonna remember no way. He ain't gonna remember I said that shit.
Hey, hold on a second, y'all. Hey, Thomas, Cheryl, you guys are saying some stuff. Facebook right now is tripping. They're not showing the comments on our end. So, Thomas, if I were you, I would go to YouTube, type in King 3RDD, or type in drop your 3 cents, and the live should come up. So therefore, I can put your comments on the stage.
Yeah, because Facebook ain't putting up none of y'all comments. I'm seeing.
Yeah, I see Cheryl, I see Greg. You know, I'm gonna try to read. From my phone, but you know, so I'm still trying to manage and do a show too. So,
so she's only had 90 days. We still have a president. The way he left is unprecedented. Well, not unprecedented. It's historic. Lyndon B. Johnson said the same thing. Not seeking the nomination of the party. Yada yada yada. But it rarely happens like that.
Man, what the
No, this person says Black Lives MAGA.
Them don't even go together.
MAGA.
What are you doing?
You said you were speaking for the people who were Who needed
Yeah,
that?
but that,
Oh no,
They didn't-
no. So hold on,
didn't
adoration.
that.
I can't let you attack Quest. Again, I may joke with him and say that he's a Trumper and
I'm
Trump is
not
an uncle, but at the end of the day, he is not. He is no candidate. He stands with no affiliation. He is strictly policy. Now, I don't agree with him with saying like, well, I'm gonna go vote for Trump or I'm not gonna vote. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't necessarily agree with that, but he's never been like a MAGA dude at all.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Listen,
that's
listen,
we're talking about misinformation.
The black
Talking about
class
misinformation,
doesn't
that's
bother me.
misinformation.
I didn't say
Yeah,
it. I didn't say
none of that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I got thick
I know.
skin. You know what I mean? So I can
don't.
take all of it with a
All
grain of
I'm
salt.
saying, Quez, I agree with you. All I'm saying is say facts. If you're gonna state it like a fact, say a fact.
Well, you know what? You know what I'm gonna say to you, Adoration.
Mhm.
In 7 days, because 7 days was our last podcast. If you had an issue or you felt like I was lying about something, I'm always available. My
I was in
inbox
the
is open. My inbox is
We couldn't see
open.
the comments.
Adoration,
Oh,
you have direct access to me, so I
But
really
no,
don't.
Quez, hey, I'm not gonna take
If
something
you
off a
felt the
podcast
way,
into your inbox.
but
That's for,
listen,
it's for fun.
I talk to Third consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like when he has a problem with something, I say, we can sit down and discuss it.
It's
You
not
know what I
like
mean?
that.
Like, Melvin, we talk via the chat. You know what I'm
All right.
saying? And I can see his point of views and I respond. They know my personality. You know what I mean? You may
Right.
not know it as much, but I mean, at the end of the day, I say what I say because it has a purpose.
Thank
This
you,
still
Eric.
is a production, and I have to galvanize the people to not only watch the information, but I have to galvanize these people to think for themselves and go and do research.
But
right?
that's the thing,
If
though,
you
is that
feel
they're
like
not.
I'm lying, what did you do this week, Adoration? You went up and looked up a whole bunch of facts, didn't you?
No,
Just
actually, I only looked it up on the podcast.
You
All
look
right,
from the
so
podcast.
hey, so Aaron Broca says
Quez.
Aaron
Yeah.
Broca says black men are going red in 2024. You know, which is true in Georgia from what I hear. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of black entrepreneurs who are going red, which I don't agree with. And then Aaron Broca says, just subscribe, great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Make sure you tell people, hit the share button. You know, we salute you. Thank you. But I don't, fuck all that MAGA shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can agree to disagree. I'm telling you right now, fuck all that MAGA shit. You know what I mean? Like, fuck MAGA.
we hear it all the time that black men are going red. But I'm like, if you got 85, if you got an 85 on the test, you'd be like, man, I did really good. If you get 10, 15, you're gonna be like, I did shit. And that's what Trump is getting, 10 to 15. So how are we saying black men are going red when he's only winning 10 to 15? And we're a diverse, it's not like we're not it's not like our grandparents' parties.
We're not all voting exactly the same. So yeah, that doesn't
exactly. So if you're missing 85 out of 100, you're doing shit. That's period. You're not speaking to the masses. You're just barely scratching the surface. So let's not even pretend like black men are going red.
Well,
That's
for
just
the people like Aaron, you know, not to call you out by name, but just people in general who look at this, my position has always been both of these parties don't give a shit. And the benign neglect rule has run rampant for the past 14 elections, right? They show up, they offer you some cornbread muffins and a piece of fried chicken and a bottle of water while you wait in line to vote because your voting stations are overcrowded because they really don't want you to stay around and do it anyway. They make it damn near impossible for people who work a regular 9 to 5 to vote if your job don't let you off in ample enough time to fight traffic to get there. Like these are things that I've always agreed with, Republican or Democrat. But at the end of the day, I am not loyal to either one of these parties. America is for sale. You know what I'm saying? And it always has been. And if you want my vote, you got to buy me too. Everybody else got bought. You know what I'm saying? We came up with an anti-Asian hate crime bill. We came up with an anti-Semitism bill. You know what I'm saying? People been getting swinging from trees that look like me since the inception of this country, and we still got to have a committee to fucking discuss it. That's my problem. That's
But-
always been my problem.
But
Why
Hold up real quick.
when you look at
Melvin, hold that thought real quick.
all right.
For those that want to, so people are on Facebook. I love it, but we can't see the comments. We can't put them on the screen like we normally do. So if you want, just go to YouTube again, King3RDD, or go in your search bar, put drop your 3 cent. You know, it'll pop up. I'm getting ready to switch one of my locations to the actual drop your 3 cent page too. But King3RDD on YouTube, so I can put your comments up on the screen. I heard myself echo. Aaron says Trump only needs 20% to win, plus many black voters who normally vote blue say that they're sitting out.
Okay, to comment what Aaron said, if you only need 20%, does that really mean he's speaking to the people? He's doing the bare minimum to try to win.
But
if you're getting 20%, you're fucking failing. So you're gonna be proud at 20%. So what about the other 80% that feel you shit on them?
Aaron says it's not about being loyal to a party. It's about accepting, take the red party to make more sense. Sorry.
Out of control.
Quest says background MAGA. Me
really, bro.
So here's the thing. So there are some things I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. So yes,
go ahead, bro.
Quest is speaking for a lot of the community or a lot of the people out there, you know, saying that think like him or that think alike. But again, the one thing that I will say is that no, some of you niggas are misrepresenting and putting out misinformation. Again, if you don't necessarily fit in the $400,000 bracket, why the fuck are you voting MAGA? Because it's not going to benefit you. Number one. Number two, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about all this shit. We're being hypocritical a bit. You talk about race, and Kamala this, but you're regurgitating shit that essentially a white supremacist, because that's essentially what Trump is. He's a white supremacist. Let's not knock the fact that his dad was actually arrested at the Ku Klux Klan rally in New York in 1927. And these are facts. But again, you talk about black, but then you're getting behind a person who, again, Trump, who was sued for discriminating against renting to black tenants. So these are not stuff that I'm regurgitating or just pulling out my ass. These are facts. But yet still you want to talk about pro-black. It's hypocritical because essentially you're letting a white man stir you and direct you and divide you into a sense of, okay, this is pride. So again, then you want to put out the thing that you attack a person of color, not Quez, because Quez didn't do this. You wanted to say that, hey, Kamala is she's Indian, she's Hindu, and she never talk about being black. But again, I got video that shows otherwise. You know what I'm saying? So again, there's a lot of shit that you guys are out there regurgitating from the right-wing media, especially from right-wing extremists, you know what I'm saying, which essentially are white supremacist groups. And then you guys sit up there and bring it back to the black community. What good are you doing?
But if you look at it, it's all been bullshit from the beginning. Because for the longest time, everybody said, "Oh, Trump, Biden doesn't know who he is. Biden's old. Biden has cognitive decline." And now nobody wants to talk about the 78-year-old cognitive decline person that is a conviction that might be sentenced before his presidency. Nobody wants to talk about any of that.
Your internet is 85. Sir.
This is why we got to stand still next to Wi-Fi.
Your internet is 85 years old, and it's on its way out too.
So one of the misrepresentations one of the things that was put out was Kamala was only speaking about black issues when she became vice president. But I got some from 2006.
He cares about the fact that we've got a bunch of young black and brown men in prison. That argument is not working. What I suggest we do as African Americans is own this issue in law enforcement and then define it in the way that works for us. Because it is a myth to say that African Americans don't want law enforcement. We do. We want our grandmothers to be able to walk to church and be safe. We want our babies to be able to walk to the park and be safe. What we don't want is racial profiling. What we don't want is excessive force. That's right. What we don't want is to have our civil liberties and civil rights be stripped. But we do want law enforcement. So let's define it in the way that works for us by saying, I want community policing. I want a police department that works in my neighborhood and in my community that reflects the mores and the culture and respects my grandmother, again, when they walk in to talk to her. I want a system of accountability in the criminal justice system that says law enforcement needs to own crime prevention as much as it talks about long sentences. Because nationally, only 18% of serious crime results in an arrest. So if I, as law enforcement, with my responsibility to keep you safe, only talk about keeping you safe by sending people to prison for a long time, I'm necessarily going to fall short because the vast majority of that crime's not even hitting my system. So if I'm going to keep my promise to you to keep you safe, I better talk with you about what I'm doing in terms of crime.
That is
Girl,
wonderful.
So,
When was that clip from?
2006.
Oh,
So
okay.
Aaron
What
Roken
policies
says,
did she
hold
help
on a
with
sec,
it?
hold on a sec, Quest. Hold on a sec, Quest. Hold on a sec, Quest. Aaron Roken says, white and black people work amazing together. The Democrats want to make fake racial tension and Trump wants to unite the country. Aaron, I got Matt Love for you, but that's bullshit.
I don't even know why you put that up there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's a lie.
Aaron,
and to answer your question, Quest, to answer your question, it was the recidivism. She started a second chance program for a lot of people that went to jail for weed. She allowed people to get their high school diplomas, get degrees. That was the second chance program that she initiated with the blessing of the governor. And
Melvin,
so, yeah,
can I be honest with you?
Go for it.
People have been getting their GEDs and degree programs in prison the entire time they've been in prison. Probably
not
since
all states.
89, sir. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Some states, yes. Some
Go
states,
ahead. Let me check this.
they take away. Some states they take away your weights. Some states you can't go to online classes. Some states you can't go to classes or have woodworking or sign up to be a firefighter and have any work experience. It's okay. You're a felon. You're done, and then you can't get any benefits. You can't get anything. You're stuck, and then the cycle continues. So it's not every state, but a majority of states don't allow it.
Right. So for Aaron, I do have a clip, before we jump into the next topic, because this is going to tie into Kamala and tie into the next thing. But here goes a clip of what Trump is.
There was a project 2017 that got no attention. And what they did is they implemented nearly 60% of those policies in 2017. And we're dealing with those ramifications right now. We can talk about 2016 when we were many folks were unsure about what they were going to do, and so many people didn't even exercise their right to vote. Alfonso and Ebony, they thought, well, one candidate who was the most qualified candidate in our nation's history by the name of Secretary Clinton was on the ballot, but her emails. And then another guy who people thought, he would never win. Well, because people stayed home, because people played games in this binary system and voted third party, we ended up with a Donald Trump presidency, and he was able to appoint not one, not two, but 3 Supreme Court justices who are overturning decades of precedent. Roe v. Wade was overturned on my birthday, June 24th, 2022, worst president I ever received. So I'll never forget the day.
Where you going?
Right. So with that being said, kind of segueing into our next topic. And I hate to do this, but again, we got to take a hard look in the mirror for us. Are Black people prejudiced against biracial people? Because what this is actually brought out, kind of like the ugliness amongst our people, when we've seen people who essentially have said that Kamala Harris is not Black because she is mixed. Or we have so many people saying this or whatever. She's Indian, she's Asian, she's Caucasian. We've even had Black men who say that she's a hoe, that she slept her way up to the top. And again, the thing I want to say to some of the Black folks out there is that I think it's a bit hypocritical. We say, protect Black women, protect Black women, protect Black women. But then again, still there's a woman of color. And then not only do you try to throw her out of the race, but then you want to call her a hoe. You want to call her all this other stuff. And she's a person who essentially came from us. And so I don't know. My thing is the one thing that I've noticed when Obama ran for presidency was his campaign essentially was lifting the rug of America to show that, hey, it swept its racism underneath this nasty, ugly rug. And we started to see a lot of people for who are what they were, essentially for him. But, you know, for now, for Kamala, I'm starting to see, again, it's amongst us that I see that she's getting disrespected. So are Black people prejudiced against the biracial people? And the thing is, you know, I have a clip where she basically talks about, you know, how she grew up. So for those who are saying that she didn't identify as Black, here goes a clip of Kamala Harris talking about her origins.
My mother, Shamala Gopalan Harris. She came here from India at age 19 to pursue her dream of curing cancer. At the University of California, Berkeley, she met my father, Donald Harris, who had come from Jamaica to study economics. They fell in love in that most American way while marching together for justice in the civil rights movement of the 1960s. In the streets of Oakland and Berkeley, I got a stroller's eye view of people getting into what the great John Lewis called good trouble.
If that's not enough, here goes another thing.
My mother was very well aware that she was raising two Black girls to be two Black women. And she did that instilling in us pride in our culture and cultures, always knowing that we would face all kinds of obstacles, but she never let us believe that anything could get in the way.
There we go.
So I'm gonna have to start submitting my own clips. You know what I mean? I know you got control of the clip farm. It's kind of subjective. You know what I mean? If you pick all the clips that you want to discuss, it's not really. There's a lot of clips to contrast the clips.
Well, bring them on, because I saw another clip where. So my thing is, go ahead.
I'm not trying to combat you. I'm just saying if we're gonna discuss it fairly, it got to be equal across the board.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. If we're gonna present information, we got to present from both sides of the field, not just the field that you're comfortable on.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
But wouldn't it be hard to?
Once again, I don't give a shit whether Kamala is Black, Indian, or none of that. I don't give a damn. Kamala, what are you going to do for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I care about. I don't care the whole argument that we're fighting to see if this woman is Black, just like they fought when Obama was Black and all of that. I don't give a damn. And if you buy race,
before you dip into it, Melvin, I'm gonna read what Jessica said. Jessica says we've been prejudiced against our race since the days of slavery. In reality, Kamala would be in the house and not in the field. Well, which is true, which has been divisive. It's been really, really divisive. And then we got Thomas Davis, who says that granny looked like Jim Carrey mask from the side. So again, he loved Black women, but he disrespects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it.
Hey, that grandma ain't Black. that was her Indian side. Don't do that.
Melvin, your Wi-Fi. I'm gonna remove you till you come back, Melvin. So again, yes. So the thing is, when we're talking about the identity, the racial identity of Kamala Harris, she is of Jamaican descent. I think her father may have like white ancestry because, again, his paternal grandmother, I think, has Irish in her. And, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, there is definitely some white European in that mix. You know what I'm saying? But truthfully, it is kind of crazy because her mom looks more Negro than anything. I wouldn't have thought she was Indian. But at the same time, though, I mean, you got a woman who immigrated from India, who came to Oakland, you know what I'm saying, in Berkeley, and met a Jamaican immigrant, and then they had children. So by default, not just because, he's Jamaican, but because, again, he has Black ancestry, this person is essentially biracial. So do we neglect one half? Because, again, I know what you're talking about, because I've seen the video where she's with an Indian actress and they were making some Indian food. So does she neglect her other half just to satisfy and suffice against her Blackness? I'm just saying because, again, at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense.
I've never combat that. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna be honest, you know what I mean? My wife's the lightest person in this goddamn house. You know what I mean? And she's just as black as the rest of us in spirit and theory. You know, that's never been my concern. I don't care about whether you biracial or, you know what I'm saying? None of that matters. Everything that matters when you speak on black issues, like I said last week, the problem is we get people who come from immigrant backgrounds, get into positions of power, don't understand the lineage that the people that are black here already have been through, and they start to speak to us like we fucking lazy. Like you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I agree with you on
need
that.
to get your shit together. Because I came over here and made it. I own 3 gas stations. I started a goddamn wig shop where everybody can come in and buy hair. Why can't you do it? And you've been here since the inception of this country. So I don't want to hear you complain. And then you start to vote and be in positions of power that disintegrate all the work that we put in to even get you here. Because let's be honest, my ancestors got bit by dogs and sprayed with water hoses before we ever had backup. You know what I'm saying? And when we fought to get y'all over here, y'all came over here and sided with the oppressors. And then you pointed your finger at us and said, get your shit together. Why are black people so lazy? Why are you so ghetto? Why is y'all so full of debauchery? Why is African immigrants coming over here and saying, don't mix with the American blacks because they're Akatas and they don't work for what they that's my problem. I don't give a shit about your mixed heritage or none of that. If you're going to speak for the people, speak for the people. But don't show up and speak down on people who have been here fighting and you don't understand the conditions that they came from.
I agree with you on that one.
Just
my thing is anybody that's speaking down is already in the wrong and they're stupid and ignorant. You cannot
but it's a large portion of them.
But that's the problem. A large portion of the United States is illiterate. Doesn't make it right, but it's the truth. Exactly. So and that's how propaganda works, where they feed lies and misinformation, disinformation, and people don't go and do their due diligence. They rather do and be like, okay, I'm going to hear my friend say this, or I'm going to believe this. And so when people start rumors and people do not fact check each other, and let's be honest, most people don't. They just, did you hear this person did this? And it's the gossip wheel. And most people don't do the research, and a lot of people don't call out their friends. They're not like us, literally here, that will fact check each other and be like, no. And just the same civil discourse between Adoration and Quez, that's not happening in real time in many communities. It's, okay, Quez says this, fuck it, it's true. Quez, I know Quez. Quez is intelligent. Quez is smart. He's a businessman. I take his word for it. But they're not getting.
Do that.
But that's the problem. That's the problem, and that's people are just taking.
I don't ever want you to do that. I want you to take what I'm saying and go look at it. You know what I mean?
But we also reinforce those stereotypes when we're like, the barbershop talk, the salon talk, and we heard this, and this person knows this, and then we don't go and research it ourselves. We're just listening and taking the word from somebody else that we think might know. And so it's taking the time and actually learning it for yourself and be like, okay, no, that's just wrong.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. So Capricorn FBA says the father is Indian Jamaican, which is not true. Again, so the thing is, the one thing that I would say about the misinformation that you niggas have spewed is that you made me do a lot of research, and I just was reading about it today. Her father is not Indian Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Her father is Afro-Jamaican with European ancestry. There's, I think, some Irish in it. Because, again, essentially, any black person that lives in the Americas, all right, whether you're as black as my shirt or if you're as light as, as Quez's wife or even Melvin, you know what I'm saying? If you were brought over here to the Americas and you've been here since, your ancestors have been here since either like the 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, whatever like that, there's a great chance that you have European ancestry. And I'm telling on myself, I have 20%, and both my parents are black. All four of my
You got like
grandparents.
23%. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, completely.
He wanted to round up on us. He wanted to round up on a
don't try to
motherfucker.
round down, sir.
Round
You
up
know
on a
what I'm saying?
motherfucker. He's like,
Yeah.
that's a big, that's a big 3% right
No,
there.
it's
call it out that
22%. You know what I'm
77,
saying? There's a lot of milk in this chocolate, but again, it's not to any purpose of mine. This is basically my ancestry. So just when I said, like in the Ratchet News, the Thomas Kennelly, you know, again, my ancestors, there was somebody who essentially slept with a black African or African descendant or African slave who essentially had a mixed child, which essentially had more children. And we're talking about slavery. So if you do your ancestry, you're going to see that there's going to be, if you're here in the Americas, there's a great chance that you're going to have European ancestry in you. So does that make you white? Does that make you Indian? So again, when we're talking about these people coming over and regurgitating misinformation, you come on a platform and you put this out, Indian, Jamaican. Where the fuck did you get that from? And again, then you listen to people like Trump who say dumb, ignorant shit. You know, saying about, oh, I didn't know she was black till a couple of years ago. When this woman has been identified.
This why I gotta represent the people, man.
Hold up,
because there are several articles. You understand, when she was in San Francisco, when she got, you know what I'm saying, brought up into the scenario, she never proclamated her black heritage, right? Let's be completely honest. That wasn't a big factor until after 2011.
No, because she went to an HBCU, bro.
So that's you just hold up. You just killed on argument, Quiz. You just quit your argument. Did we not just play a clip? Did we not just play a clip from 2006? Did we not just play a clip from 2006? She was saying black since before then, so you just said 2011.
What did she say in that clip? What did she say in that clip? She said a whole bunch of nothing. She said a whole bunch of we need to have relations.
Here
with
we
the
go.
police.
It all depends on how you're looking at it, because it could be nothing.
It depends
to all of us, when somebody says they're black,
because if she said that in 2006, right? We're in 2024. She's been in a political atmosphere where she could have changed policies and made things happen, not only at a federal level, she could have did it at a local and state level during that time. She didn't do that. And that has always
she did.
Yes, she did, Quez. We just talked about
we just talked about it. I just told you the different programs that she initiated.
That has always, she didn't initiate that. That was a California policy. That wasn't a Kamala policy.
No, but she was the front runner. They put her out there.
What did she initiate? What did
she initiated that one? She spearheaded that one
from somebody that looks like me and is supposed to be a part of my community. What did she do to force the issue?
I think I put in the group chat. She did a lot of initiatives, and that was one of the misconceptions. And why are we holding her to a different standard than anybody else?
I'm not. I hold all these people to the same fucking standard.
But the same standards not apply. We only have two choices, like I said last week. It's either Donald Trump. You have. But the third option is not to vote.
Exactly.
So then if you don't vote, then you're essentially part of the problem.
Melvin,
you
what
are
is the
part of the
definition
problem
of insanity? What is
doing the same thing over and over and over,
but getting the same results but expecting something different, right?
Right.
It's not insanity.
We've been doing the same thing. We've been voting Democrat. We've been waiting on Democrats to come in and save us in our community.
We're not waiting.
Democrat.
We're not waiting on any Democrats to save us. We're not waiting on Democrats to save us. And we're not waiting. We're being 100% real. We're not waiting on Democrats to save us, and we don't vote that often, and we don't vote in the local elections, and we don't care. And all we do is complain a lot of times. Oh, well, what did he do for the black community? Well, if you're searching for what that one specific tailored candidate for you, you're going to be upset.
What did the Asian community do for Joe Biden? What
it's
did
not
the
Joe
homosexual
Biden.
Community
it's
do
not
for
Joe Biden.
Hey, let's be real.
No, I'm being 100%.
We can't conflate the issues, brother.
You're literally conflating the issue. The
No, I'm
Asian
not.
bill, yes, the Asian bill got passed through Congress because there's different PACs that pay, and they put forth money to different lobbyists to propose those bills.
For sale. That's what we're saying.
Yes. And so a lot of black people aren't paying, so they're not getting the results that they want.
Okay. Time out.
That's all I was saying.
Thomas, I love you, man.
But
Thomas, you're dope. Hold on.
Don't get emotional, sir.
Hold on.
Don't get emotional, third.
Thomas, you're dope. You know, I got mad love for you, okay? I knew everybody on here. Obama didn't do nothing for us either. What did you... So, again, I hate when niggas say this shit. I'm saying this shit from a place of love. You know what I mean? Because, again, I got mad love for you. You're dope. But, again, I hate when niggas say this shit, you know what I'm saying? Especially in regards to Obama or Kamala or anybody black. Because, again, because this person wasn't necessarily out there wearing a dashiki or up in black leather with the afro pick, eating collard greens, all this other stuff. Again, there's a lot of stuff that he tried to do for us that essentially got blocked by Senate. You know what I'm saying? Again, when you have Republicans who are not, wait, Quest. Not all Republicans, but you have some Republicans who are racist. Because again, if Quest was talking about a lynching bill, an anti-lynching bill, there was a bill that Joe Biden tried to pass that essentially got blocked by the Republican Senate. So again, we're talking about people who essentially, when it comes to black policies or black things for issues, they block it. Because again, you want him to specifically just come out and say, well, fuck, F these white people over here. I'm doing this for my people, whatever. Yeah. Just because he's not doing that specifically, does that mean that he's not doing anything for black folks? He gave you affordable care because some of you folks can't afford health care. He gave you certain things to where essentially he had to spoon feed it into mashed potatoes and self-serve it to everybody to essentially give you something. But black unemployment was down underneath Obama. So the shit that Trump was trying to take credit for, I brought down black unemployment, whatever. That was Obama that did that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that Obama did that Trump took credit for, as far as HBCUs funding and all this other stuff that Obama had already had in place. Trump was the beneficiary of what he had coming. So again, it's just he did do it pretty good.
Why wasn't adoration?
I agree, Thomas.
You know what I'm saying? What was that about? You know
I ain't know you heard. I forgot. She actually. So when I muted y'all,
go ahead.
No, when I muted y'all, she came back in.
Oh yeah, I went to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Now, let's be honest now.
So Michelle
Obama
helped the venue for schools to provide healthcare food
and Senate. The first 4 years of his presidency, did he not have a Democratic House and Senate majority? Is that a fact or not?
That is true.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that they vote for that.
Then what does that mean, adoration? Then that means that some of those Democratic House and Senate people are also racist.
Yes, we know that.
Okay, then. So why are we arguing about whether the right side is racist or the left side is racist? And we're not paying attention to the fact that these same individuals, whether they're presidents, whether they're senators, whether they're congressmen, practice the same benign neglect and anti-black racism, and some of us give it to us right up front in our face and say, fuck you, nigga. And some of them say, hey, I got black friends. I can't be racist. And then proceed to vote for policies that affect you directly and say, hey, well, my hands are
listen.
But earlier you said about voting and how both parties are trying to stop people from voting. And that's not true. The Democratic Party the Democratic Party proposed a voter ID. The Republicans and the Senate said no. They said a voting national day. The Republicans said no. Mitch McConnell specifically said no. So when you Google it, say Mitch McConnell said no to voter ID, just to be 100% accurate. Then when they said,
we need voter IDs?
Because what happens, what they're doing now is unenrolling people and their registration. So then they're saying, hey, you're not registered to vote. if you have an ID and an ID number, that's not going to change. So
Okay,
that's part of.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Go for it.
Are there several states? I won't even say states. Are there just cities and counties that are trying to streamline immigrants to be able to vote, including Kamala
I don't
Harris?
believe so. I don't believe so.
Kamala Harris has said it. She personally said it that she wants to streamline
if you look at immigration, if you look at immigration and Hispanics in general, they're primarily Catholic and deeply religious. So a lot of them don't support the LGBT community. So when it comes to voting, they tend, especially Texas, they tend to vote Republican because the family values aspect and what gets highlighted about the craziness. And that is the truth. It's when if it comes to culture, which
what does Texas do with their illegal immigrants?
Texas, nothing. They have them work. Texas,
no, they send them to Chicago and New York.
Yeah, they do a lot, but those are mainly political stunts.
They bust them to other cities, so
but
that
those are political stunts.
In their state.
They don't. Those are political stunts. And when we talk about voter ID and voter suppression,
is that a stunt or is that?
But Texas and Georgia, especially Georgia, has been found with and Google this with in quotes with surgical precision to stop Black people from voting. They will accept an NRA ID card, but not a school ID card. They'll accept a sporting, hunting, or a gun license, but not another church member registration or anything.
Like let's think logically, sir. Who doesn't have a regular state ID?
It's not.
Black people are walking around here with school ID trying to do anything.
It's when
like,
people when you accept some. A lot of college kids don't. A lot of college kids don't have it.
Biracial
right. We got roll back to the doc. All right. So now again, what this is, we digress a lot of it actually. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of people are bringing which is saying that, you know, because essentially Kamala Harris is of mixed race, that she is not Black. And again, a lot of this has been spewed by our own community. So it's something that I've been hearing amongst Black people a lot is that, hey, if you're mixed or if you are biracial, then you're not Black, whatever. And here goes a clip.
I don't know how else to say this, but being mixed with Black doesn't make you Black. Being read as Black is what makes you Black. If every single day you go through the world and people are wondering what you are and questioning what you are, that literally means that you are existing as a biracial person. You are existing as somebody who's racially ambiguous. I am someone who's Black. Everywhere in the world, I'm read as Black. No one's confused about what race I am. So that's why I say that biracial people aren't Black. I'm not saying that y'all are terrible people. I'm just saying that it's not Black, and that's okay. It's okay, babes.
Another ignorant ass person.
Never mind what Goku was talking about.
Another ignorant ass person.
You know what I'm saying? The Black Goku doesn't speak for the rest of us. Like you picked the most weird looking person on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. So again, she was trying to dress in Black in African, you know, like garb. You know what I'm saying? Like Black, you know. So again, she tried it. But again, but the point of the being of the clip was that there are a lot of people who have been echoing that same sentiment. Again, especially when it comes to Kamala. So again, this is just what I'm saying. Like, no, so TikTok ain't real. Hold up. This is what Thomas Davis said. TikTok is definitely real. What are you talking about, man? It's the same thing as like far as YouTube, as far as Facebook, as far as Instagram. People come on here and they have a platform to essentially speak their mind. And then they spew bullshit. So again, how is it not real when they're speaking essentially what is of their character? So again, this is not just the perfect example is of I wanted to play Judge Joe Brown, because he was saying that Kamala Harris wasn't Black. But again, so my thing is just like this is some of the same sentiment that's been going on within our own community. And they see somebody of mixed race, whatever, then all of a sudden they're not Black because essentially they don't quote unquote meet the stereotypical things of what it means to be Black.
We don't do that. Us black people here in America, we don't do that because we know that there's a possibility that massa raped your mama. We know that's a reality.
Black people in America.
No, so again, Quez,
We don't.
you.
No, I'm talking about
and
us
we
here. I'm saying
no, Quez,
Not
that's
at
not
all.
true. That's not true.
Bro, stop it.
Quez, you my brother. I love you to death.
Listen, let's be realistic. Come on, I let y'all get y'all issues off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let y'all rock all night. I ain't went black militant to the 10th degree for real. You know what I mean? I let y'all slide. But let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Santo Domingue and Haiti are what?
Black.
And where and what did they argue about?
Stupid shit.
They're on the same fucking island, separated by a river, right?
Stupid.
Dominicans and Haitians live on the same fucking island, right? Separated by a river. But somehow Dominicans ain't black, and Haitians is black as hell, right? Ain't that something that realistically happens over there? Yep. But here we understand that Massa might have fucked your great grandmama. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, disseminating down through lineage that there may be a reoccurrence of that slave master DNA popping back up in thirds, you know, ancestry
77%.
and he becomes 77%, but he looked just like me. You know what I mean? And I'm in the 80th percentile. You know what I mean? I'm a B student, but we still accept third because we know that it's not third's fault that somewhere down his lineage, Master had a little fun in the slave quarters, you know what I mean? While his wife was off on a trip to go see her parents. We don't give a shit about that. What we give about here in the United States is when it comes to black issues, if you step up for the cause, you could be light-skinned, bright-skinned, white-skinned. We don't give a shit. If you riding for the cause, we fucks with you. We give out barbecue passes. We give out the kickback passes more than anybody on this planet. We done gave white people so many opportunities to come into our circles. No, I'm not talking about me because I don't give out passes. I don't give a fuck. I'm saying there's the community gives out so many passes. We don't give a shit. If you ride for the cause, you ride for the cause. Paul Wall got gold grills and straight hair. You know what I'm saying? And now he looked like a white businessman. But we grew up on Paul Wall, still tipping on fofos. We gave him a community pass to be black with us. That's not our argument. That's what I'm saying. Us here, we give out a pass faster than anybody on this fucking planet. We give you a pass to be black with us, whether you white, whether you Hispanic, whether you Asian, you know what I'm saying? There's so many people in our culture that's not from our culture that we didn't gave barbecue passes to because they didn't came over, learn how to play dominoes and spades, and they can cook some ribs and they started to season their chicken. Now you can fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. It's never been an issue in that regards to you being biracial. You don't even have to be of the race and we fuck with you. That's what I'm saying. Don't make it to
Jessica started some shit. She said
mixed heritage. You know what I mean?
Well, Jessica started some shit. She said, but Quez, wasn't Kamala riding for the cause? She went to a HBCU.
No. Rachel Dolezal went to HBCU and y'all shitted on her.
Because she was
There's
crazy.
Asians that go to HBCUs right now and y'all don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that.
My only question is this.
Absolutely.
Why is it that?
Okay. You know what I'm saying? It not around company. Go ahead, Adoration.
My question is this, and this goes to Quez and you know what I mean, other people.
Don't direct nothing to me, directed to the community.
It's directed. The question is, or let me just direct it at the black community in general. Not everybody.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Some people. Why is it that when we have a black candidate, why are we always, and this goes into the culture that we're raised on, so I'm not blaming people necessarily. Black people are always highly criticized next to their white counterparts. We got somebody, we clearly see that she was a police officer. We clearly see that she had policy. We even see from the clip that he showed that she was actually looking out for the Black community in particular. She said it very clearly what she wanted, what she was trying to do. Why is it that we're going to pick her apart, every hair on her body, every background story, every this and that, and you got Trump sitting right there? I hear Kamala this, Kamala that, whatever her name is, this, that, and the other. She ain't Black. Her dad has some white, this, that. But then when it comes to Trump, he's a whole convicted felon. I hear nothing. And this happens in the white community, but it also happens in the Black community. And because the question is, you know, what we're posing right now, the actual topic right now, I would like to know from a Black perspective. So, Quez, I'm probably going to hear from you. Why is it always that we're tearing down the Black person? Why didn't this person do that? But yet we got Trump over here doing straight racist stuff, like straight up. Straight doing
Because
this, straight doing that. And I didn't hear
people are
one
on
thing
their
about Trump.
bullshit. Most people are
One
on
thing
their
about
bullshit.
Trump. And this
That's
happens
it.
in white communities and Black communities. So like, it's like a lot of Black people are like, yeah, we know Trump is racist. But instead of sitting down, picking apart Trump, I'm going to sit down and pick apart Kamala. And then you got the white people like, I'm going to vote for Trump and I'm also pick apart Kamala. And so for Black people in this country, and you know this because you probably get picked apart just as much as a Black man, it's like you will take your child to school as a Black man and a white man will take his child to school. He'll be a whole child molester, predator. Let him in the door as a child, but then you'll just be Black. Oh man, can you believe? Do you see how Quez dropped his kid off? You see how he didn't walk him to the door? This is what we do to each other. And as somebody who did not grow up in the USA, I saw it as a culture shock. Because when I came back, when my siblings went back to school there, they're like, what is wrong with our people? Why are we so racist against ourselves?
Because there's haters. That's it. We're haters. We just hate against everybody that's not us. And I'm not saying us
and
as
ourselves.
Black people. It's just us as individuals. We will tear each other down, how we look, how we act, how we do that, and then complain why and ask why we don't get along.
Right.
And why the Asian community has a pact and why the Jewish community pays off and has a pact that pays off Congress members and then say, oh, well, why didn't we do nothing? Well, I'm telling you, Cori Bush, one of the Black members of the squad, you know, she lost. She's a progressive. She lost her to the Democratic candidate because
because they
Jewish
called
community,
themselves the squad. That's why they
lost. No, because the Jewish community, the Jewish Political Action Committee, donated millions, tens of millions of dollars to her opponent, who is also a Democrat. But they're like, we don't want you because how your stance is on Palestine
Aren't they also
and
Black,
Israel.
Melvin?
What's that?
Aren't they also Black?
Yeah, no, not. I don't believe the. There's two of them. There was the Bowman that in New York got replaced because he's a progressive, and then Cori Bush that got replaced and lost her primary last week. And the people, the Political Action Committee that sponsored their opponents, it's they're like, okay, we don't like, you don't support what we want, so we're gonna fund somebody else. And until we start coming up with lobbyists and doing all that, then we can't complain.
So would it be safe to say, Melvin, that our religious and identity politic views don't help us at all in our voting when we don't have a monetary backing behind them? Because that's what it seems like. And when I say that we shouldn't vote and not get nothing for our vote, then people look at me like I'm fucking crazy because I say America's for sale, but yet and still we sit here and say, well, we're going to play fair and by the rules. And every other community is taking the back roads. They running through the alley, slipping some duffel bags through the back door of the restaurant. And we up front talking about, hey, you know, if I pay a fair wage, then I should get a fair plate. You know what I mean? And they're sending out buffets out the back door. That's what I'm saying.
We'll be naive to assume that we talk. Everybody talks about dark money. Everybody knows the Supreme Court's bought off. Everybody knows most of the Congress people are bought off.
So why does no other community get harassed in the terms of voting the way that Black people do? Your ancestors died to vote. You should vote regardless because people fought and died. No, they didn't fight and die for you to sit up here and continue to get abused to pick the best.
But there's only two choices. It's either
There's not only two choices.
no. There's
Stop
only two choices.
saying that.
There's only
Because
two.
there is. If you're sitting there
Each
saying
state gets
that
2 Congress, they get a number of
yes,
Senate members. There's a whole lot more choices than the 2 that you're talking about right now. So stop saying that. That's what I want people to stop saying.
in
You only got 2
November
choices
5th,
every 4 years.
November 5th, there's
No,
only 2
you
people
had
that are going to be
hundreds of
president.
No, he's
choices
right.
There's only
in
2
between
people
those
that
4
have
years.
the influence. There's only 2 people running that have the influence to make change. And one is
Okay.
wanting to set Black people back. The other is looking towards the future for all. And that
you
that is
what
that's it.
you know what power respects,
True.
Melvin.
Money.
And I know you will appreciate this. You know
Money.
what I'm saying? Because you've been to war. Power only respects the loss of finances and the loss of life. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes, but it's also if you can get a
So
people,
if
you
we're
can
not
get
gonna go out there and kill nobody, let's be honest.
if you
Us
no,
as
but
Black
that
people, we're
Yeah,
not
hold-
gonna kill
hey,
nobody.
but
you
So
got
what
one
is
minute.
our other option?
that's how but Quest,
to
that's
control
how
the
propaganda
finances?
works. That's how propaganda works. If you're not out there working and doing the grassroots work and you're only showing up once every 4 years, then what the hell are you complaining about? Did you talk about that same pothole for 4 years? Did you get your community to rally around it? That's what the Black community used to do. That's what John Lewis used to do. Them Black people, those grassroots members, they got people. They
Stop
got
using
shit done
John Lewis, man. John
because.
Lewis
But
got out
that's the
there
truth.
and
But
got in the
that's
proximity of
literally.
whiteness
But
and
no,
got
that's
all about you
literally.
niggas on that
That
Evan
is
Pettis
literally the
Stop
truth that he said in his book, that they had people at church. They said, hey, we're rallying, we're organizing, we're coming together to change and make a difference in our community. Once we're done with the community, we're going bigger. Once we're going bigger, we're going to the state level. And then we're going to continue. And that we don't see
and
that.
John Lewis got to the federal level and said, fuck all y'all.
That's bullshit. No.
Because he got in some good trouble.
No.
Good trouble. John
Even
Lewis
up
got
until
to the
his death,
federal level.
even up
and
until his death, he was protesting.
Time out. Because look, I don't want y'all to be emotional. I'm being 100% honest with
emotional, bro.
It's not emotional at all.
Because
You're so
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying for the people who look like me and the people who live through the environments that I've lived through, they tend to react emotionally. You know what I'm saying? They don't vote based on strategy and the way the political system works, right? We go off of superficial things that benefit us in an emotional way.
And that is the problem.
Well, I know that's the problem, but when I said niggas look at Quez like, hey,
but that's what I've been. I agree with you. I agree with you, and I said
government.
that.
You don't want to vote. That's what. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying that's the backlash.
He's saying in general, Melvin.
I know. I'm not saying that he's saying it's
5
me.
weeks, right? For 5 weeks. Third, correct me if I'm wrong. For like the past 3, 4, 5 episodes, I've been saying, and you know what? I'm not even going to limit myself like that. Since the inception of this concept of the Drop Your 3 Cents podcast, when we was meeting on Facebook, what have I always said? You should vote locally, right?
Yeah,
and we're talking about back to 2016, 17, whatever. I've been saying that since then. Now, my position has never changed. Now, when I challenge people, they tell me, from 2016, it went to, you don't like Obama because his daddy is African. Then when it got to Trump, you just want to be a MAGA supporter. Then when it got to Joe Biden, it was, you don't like old white men. Now that we at Kamala, you know what I'm saying? I done been through cycles of this shit. That's why I talk the way that I talk, because we're not going to keep meeting me with the same aggression while y'all continue to do the same things that don't fucking work. And then when I try to give y'all strategies that's going to help us as a community, because I do them, you know what I'm saying? We're not talking, I participate in the way that I feel is effective, right? I don't wait every 4 years to jump up and say, we got to choose between the two evils. You know what I'm saying? God said, Adam, you only took a bite of the apple. Eve ate the whole rest of it, so we're going to kick her out. Evil is evil. He told you not to fucking do it. So I don't participate in those type of semantics. If he said evil is evil, I don't get to pick which evil is less. I participate in the facility that I can make the most impact in my community. That's what I do. And I've been saying this.
We rolling away from the topic.
Time.
We're like left field all the way
the
in
point.
Arizona.
What I
No,
I
because
say,
it go left field when I say what I say. And it
No.
You're a MAGA supporter, Quez. You don't like black women.
I don't think
Quez,
you're a MAGA
you
supporter.
hate light-skinned people. That's it. Always come to me. I don't really give a shit, but I gotta let y'all know that I stand on business all day, 24/7. Everybody that's been here from the beginning know what the fuck I do. That's all I wanted to say.
My point is, in November, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris,
which
then,
I won't.
Okay, then a lot of things will not change.
I won't vote for Donald Trump either.
They'll go back. But if you
I
don't
won't
vote
for him either,
and if you don't vote and she loses because you didn't vote, then a lot of things go back. But if you
go back to what, Melvin?
Well, Project 25.
What
Project
boogeyman
128.
is going to show up
It's not.
at my house
It's not a
and do
boogeyman.
something
It's
to me?
literally white Christian nationalists changing the dichotomy of the United States. They're saying you have to have a Bible in class. You can't have black books. That is what's on the table. So
why not
if you
teach
want
your
your kids,
children at
if you're
home?
talking about education and how you think education is going to get better under Trump,
what?
No,
Melvin,
We got 13
these
minutes,
niggas
y'all.
can't read now. What are you talking about? We can't read today. You know what I'm saying? We worried about it getting worse.
But our
the
levels
inner city
of
community niggas cannot read at all.
our
And
levels of
Adoration, I know
literation.
you from Baltimore. Adoration, what's the literacy rate in your city?
It's low. I was homeschooled. I was homeschooled.
But I'm just saying, in your city, you from Baltimore. What's the literacy rate in Baltimore or in Chicago or in Los Angeles?
You can't tell me that
they're fucking
that
horrible.
that nothing's
So
changed.
we're gonna get rid of something.
All right, one at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Listen,
One at a time. One at a time.
Guys.
Are we gonna get rid of something?
Hold up.
that
One at a
always
time. One at a
resonates with our
time. One
kids?
at a time.
The point of the topic, we're talking about racism in our community, prejudice in our community.
Yeah, we stirred
When
away.
I say that, everybody thought we're crazy. I already explained
You're not
that.
crazy,
We don't
man.
do that.
The only reason why people were saying you were crazy earlier is because you were
I
saying
never said you was crazy.
that were clearly not true. You say it and people look it up and it wasn't true, but that's all. And then there were people who were mega supporters themselves who identified with some of the stuff you were saying, but that doesn't mean that people are saying you're crazy. We're just trying to talk about certain topics.
But that plays into the whole role of what Adoration says. We have a black female vice president and a presidential candidate, and yet we're talking as if she's running against somebody of equal qualification or equal standards.
There you go.
And it's not that. So what are we? What standard are we holding her up to? So you're not going to vote for her, and you're not going to vote for Trump, and you're just going to stay at home. But then, what are you looking for? You're waiting for somebody that's cookie cutter to you specifically. That name somebody, and if you can't, then what are you doing? Then your idea and your process of picking a political candidate is not working.
And I'm not personally.
I know, but I'm just saying, if people say, well, nobody's putting out what I want, and nobody's supporting what I want, well, then obviously you have to go look for that candidate and get support for it. And if you can't find it, then either you become it or then you find the closest to it. And that's the only thing we can do. But we sit here and we denigrate Kamala Harris if she's black or not. It's like, what are we talking about? What are we literally talking about?
Ain't no we. You speaking French.
What are we talking about?
Who you voting for, Adoration?
She can't vote, man.
Say if I was voting or not.
She's not voting. She's not American.
What's your vote count?
I said I never got a chance to even state if I was voting or not. What I'm talking about is why, if we're gonna tear down one person, why are we not gonna tear down the other? Why are we always, as black people, for this topic, as black people, why are we? Because white people are gunning for us all the time. No question about that. You got Trump, convicted felon on the stage, talking about when was she black? Like, you're not You're not around black people. How do you even know what she is? And yet we as black people
Exactly.
are doing the
So
same thing. My question
so I'm
is
supposed to
why?
criticize white people when I'm not around
Why?
them? I don't know what
Why
the
are
fuck white people do. For
No,
all I
but
know,
exactly
they eat mayonnaise
why?
sandwiches and
Right.
digging in their toes. That's none of my
That's my thing.
concern.
When are
So
we
but
gonna
it,
stop those
why
black
would I
people?
waste my time talking
Mhm.
to people that I know nothing about? I know people that look like I know black people. I know our issues are what we concern with. Why would I waste my time talking to Donald Trump if he's already a known bigot
We're talking about
and
two.
racist? We
This
know
is the
this, right? We do.
All
but
right.
Quez,
We all agree that Donald Trump is a racist and a bigot.
Quez.
Yes.
This is
yeah.
what I'm saying. We
Can
know
we
that
all
he's a
agree there?
yes.
Quez, you stood on that business from day one.
Yes.
You said
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So why do I have to waste my time, energy, and breath addressing
All
them
right,
when
y'all.
we
And we
already know
got
who that
like
is?
9 minutes. So I'm
My
play
question
clip
is
because we.
So who wins when we pit mixed black girls against other black girls? If you guess white supremacy, you get a point. There's a long traumatic history of black mixed women being used to silence and marginalize other black women, and that is painful and horrible. There's also a history of mixed black women using their proximity to whiteness to hurt other black women, and that they have to be held accountable for. But there's been this whole mess in my comments about why people like me, who are considered biracial or multi-ethnic, should not consider themselves black and should step out of this whole conversation. But why are people so insistent on making sure that I don't connect to my black heritage and other mixed kids don't connect to their black heritage in a way that changes society? When my black classmate invited me to a protest many years ago, it changed my life in so many ways because I was able to go back to my own community and challenge people who otherwise never would have looked at their own anti-blackness or considered the fact that we still have a long way to go. White supremacy is brilliant because one of the ways it works is it creates meaning out of differences. Playing up the differences in the black community and creating more division means there's less solidarity and there's less of a unified front against white supremacy. I have been super disappointed with the mixed black girls in my life who have completely swallowed this and been like, yep, we're not black, and have then spent their lives running after whatever white privilege offers them. At best, they do nothing and the status quo remains the same, but at worst, they're supporting racist partners, they're supporting racist structures, and they're unable to see the racism that runs all around us. And then there are the parents that are like,
Yeah, for
wrong.
time's sake. I mean, you get it.
He's
Just
not
of it,
wrong.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I was trying to go. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to like roll us back to the doc.
How is she not wrong?
But then niggas wanted to,
Because
bring
a lot of
back into the deep of the ocean.
because a lot of black people will question the blackness. Oh, you don't matter because you're light skinned. You don't understand what it's like
But
because
time
this.
out.
You don't understand, but you're
We
black, but your hair's straight, so you don't understand. And that is a
did
real
you hear the
shit.
words that came out of her mouth? Because words have power, sir. The
Go for
fact
it.
that she says that she knows that people of that look like her have a proximity to whiteness and use it to weaponize people that look of darker pigment. The fact that she knows that when people of her pigment get over there and then they can use that as abuse and bullying tactic. And when her black friends invited her to a protest, that she went back to her community. We didn't separate that. She did. We can't keep looking at shit and saying, hey, because I don't fit in, you niggas is bullying me. When you say the things that you are projecting onto us, she said, I went to a black protest, and then when I went back to my community, what is your community, ma'am, if it's not us at the black protest?
Maybe
That's
she
the
was
fucking
talking about
problem.
probably she went to a protest that wasn't in her community, but it was a protest like the George Floyd. A lot of people
No, you're
weren't in those.
semantics, sir. Don't do that.
But you don't know what
minimize
she was.
semantics.
You don't
What
know
is her
what
community?
context she was
Hold
saying
on.
that in.
Thomas
Because she
Davis
said she's
says,
black.
I'm as black
She
as
said she's
Quez
black.
when the race war pop off.
But the point is,
that's all that matters. When it pop off, that part.
The point is when she talks about blackness and she's saying, hey, I'm using the privilege, because like I said plenty of times, there's privilege in everything. There's veteran privilege, there's disabled privilege, there's white privilege, there's famous privilege, there's rich privilege. So look at Candace Owen, dark as
What
night.
is the black privilege?
And
explain it to me.
I didn't say black privilege.
Because there ain't none, motherfucker. That's what I meant. There's all these other privileges
what's the
unless
Asian
you black.
privilege?
What the
What's
fuck?
the Asian? What's the Asian
You
privilege?
have a point on that one.
But what's the Asian privilege? What's the Arab privilege? I'll wait.
They don't have to deal with anti-black racism. That's what they don't have to deal with. They still get to be the model. They get to be the model minority as long as you're not a nigga. They get to be in proximity to whiteness
9/11,
as long as you're not.
What does that have to do with
I don't think that's accurate at all. You know, the sheikhs, they wear the turban, they wear their sheik, they have the same garbs, and they're treated like terrorists. People don't even know the difference and be like, you're a terrorist.
That is true.
So to sit
I
there
still
and
go in
say,
the liquor store where that nigga with a turban and say, "Let me get a pack of Maverick."
and everybody automatically assumes. And everybody automatically assumes that
turban don't bother me because we know that nigga ain't get on no plane with a box cutter and run up.
But so many
niggas
people
on that plane because they would have never.
So many people, so many people don't see that.
Have a wonderful
Quest, Melvin.
We love y'all.
All right,
y'all, please don't ban me. Thomas Davis, no, you getting banned, nigga, because again, you're a black Trumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold up. I got before we leave out of here, I gotta show you what I think of black Trumpers. So when Trump got shot at, this is what y'all black Trumpers were like. This is exactly what y'all like. Y'all love your oppressor, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
No.
Hey, I love y'all to death. You know
that was actual footage. That was actual footage of Thomas Davis. You know what I'm saying? When Trump got shot. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the bullet leaked out,
he called him by name.
As soon as the bullet leaked off, that was Thomas Davis. No!
He called him by name.
There, bro. Don't do that.
He called him by name.
I'm putting this whole government. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. What you talking about?
At the end of this discourse,
the funk
I
you talking about?
love y'all, but y'all not gonna sway my opinion.
Hey,
and I don't intend
you know what?
to
Hey, we got 2 minutes. I got a two pick. We will We will table this. We will come back because I wanted to get into the deep issues of do we have internal prejudices against mixed internal black racial people. Right now, I'm funked up. I appreciate y'all. So again,
yes, we do.
We ran out of time. We got off topic. These niggas right here rolled us off the dot. You know what I'm saying? But I love them because they're my brothers. Adoration, I love you. From where you at? Shut up.
Who you voting for? Adoration.
I never even got a chance to say if I'm
vote.
voting or not.
Who are you voting for?
She's not American. She can't vote.
She's
black.
I can vote.
She's black. She's just not
Who
American.
Hey, Jessica says black Trumpers was saying, nah, he like us. Hey, Thomas, you know I love you. I got to get at you, though. All right. Hey, it's been a real one. Time has run out. I got to go. We got to go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting Facebook. F you because you tripping. I couldn't see the comments. We will reconvene next week. We will pick up from right where we left off.
Adoration, why he simping for you?
Hey man, we gotta give this nigga some Sprite because he's thirsty heavy.
Why is he
simping
for you?
I'm the light-skinned Candace Owens.
What you do to this man?
What the fuck? The light skin.
I think it's when she was modeling. You know what I'm saying? He got this nigga. This nigga strong.
She is the light skin.
Hey Thomas, and hold up. In order to get with her, you got to vote blue. All right. On that note, I'm gonna talk to you later. All right, y'all. We love you. Peace.
All right. Later.
All right. Bye, y'all.